Hey everyone, my name's Pupsker, and today in Warframe, we're going to go over optimal Plague Star farming for the Hemocyte. The Hemocyte is obviously the big boss, kind of a pain in the butt to fight because if you don't know good strats, good builds, he is a very tanky boss. But if you know what you're building, if you know what you're doing, it's not the worst boss, especially if you go in a group with everyone. As you can see here, I'm taking Volt, and my plan is to quickly armor strip the boss, right? I armor strip it with the shotgun, get my buffs on, and then the game plan is to do direct face damage. Sometimes, depending on how spawns work, it can be a little annoying. I was using a Cedo as a primary weapon, and I was using a Tenet Detron as the secondary weapon. Both, I would say, are very good, but Tenet Detron is probably the higher damage one since you can burst everything out at once. How this boss works is fairly simple. There is a damage cap on it, so you need to use a weapon that hits the boss many times all at once. So that is why you're going to be seeing everyone using a shotgun type weapon. I'm using the Vastilok to completely armor strip the boss, and I would recommend everyone else use some sort of armor strip for the boss, whether it be some hits with a Gunblade Vastilok, whether it be a Warframe's armor stripping ability. It should work, but you just have to hit the main body of the boss, not the face. So armor strip it before you start shooting at the face, because like as you can see here, I haven't armor stripped it quite yet. It still has armor. I forget to do things half the time, and I'm like kind of a goober as I'm waiting for it to like be able to take damage to the face. So the damage you deal when it's armored is just not going to be as high. And then I take off the armor, and then you'll see my damage gets a lot higher. You'll want to put on damage to health, right? You'll want to hit their faces, and you'll just want to use generally strong weapons. The enemy is weak to, I believe, oh, what did I put on? Like radiation, I think? I would have to double check the wiki, but we have it up here because technically the boss's armor is like fossilized, so corrosive, blast is what does a lot of damage. That's it. So I have corrosive on my secondary, and it seems to do, the Tenet Detron, right, a lot more damage. I'd recommend a fast shooting pellet type shotgun that can burst out shots as fast as humanly possible. I know a lot of people are using stuff like Warframe, so just general shotgun pellet multi-shot type weapons work really well because of the damage attenuation, nerfing shots individually, and it's really weird, okay? It's just so freaking weird how this boss works. Either way, that is so far all of the gameplay out of that. Okay, now that we're in game, I'll show you my general build that I'm using for everything. It's pretty simple ideas overall, as I was explaining before. Just do high damage, you know, equip equip corrosive so that you can do a little bit more damage to its shield, but even without corrosive, it doesn't matter too much. For example, I took my Cedo, and this is built with viral radiation. This does no bonus sort of damage to the boss really, because it doesn't have like higher tier stuff, no blast or no radiation, and yeah, no even slash, right? But the damage on it, it's still good, and I wanted to use this as like an alternative to show you that even if you don't meta build, you can get still a really strong weapon. You just need a weapon that shoots a lot of bullets and shoots many times because of the way the damage cap works. So a lot of auto shotties that shoot really fast are really good, especially like the Tenet Detron, the secondary auto shotty, because you can burst its entire magazine out in seconds. So let's start off with my build with Volt. Volt is a simple frame for this, and I've pulled out all the punches myself, right? I have Eclipse on Volt for more damage. Overall, makes sense, good, nice. Electric Shield, still good, adds damage, awesome. Speed, it's a good boost, makes you shoot faster, makes you reload faster, you'll get an insane amount of damage. Your entire team can probably go Volt as well, and it'll even help everyone, so it's crazy. Just because Volt's so good, so everyone could be buffing themselves and like they'll be fine. But the speed works on the drone. You can have a Wisp that'll buff the drone with her little buff, speed buff, so you can do that if you need to. Okay, if you need to. This one mission has like the mandatory 3-minute defense, and then, yeah. So there's a lot of stuff you're just waiting around to do, but you can use a Wisp Volt speed build if you really want to go fast. So this is my general Volt Prime build I have on. Naturally, feel free to use whatever you truly feel like. This is a good strength duration build because I don't want to recast speed every 24 seconds. Sorry, I was interrupted. After all, speed boost, reload speed, all of this is really good. It's nice. So yeah, I also have Shock Trooper on for my first ability, so I get even more damage off my Volt. So in theory, I can kill the boss very fast. And that's why I'm able to like 1-2 shot magazine stuff the boss if I can. I have Rifle Amp, Power Drift, don't matter as much, but hey, you know, more rifle damage, more ability power, cool. Streamline, Prime Continuity, Narrow-Minded, Transient Fortitude, Umbral Fiber so I don't die, Umbral Intensify, Adaptation so I don't die, and Shock Trooper. It's pretty much, this is all my DPS and like build for DPS, and these two are defensive, and these are all building for damage. Molt Augmented is nice, you just have to build up kills, so maybe not optimal for this stage. And then I have Arcane Energize because I run out of energy too easily. The idea is Volt is very simple. Every single one of his abilities buffs, right? So I just activate them all, get a good damage buff increase, and then slay the enemy. Sorry if it's a little loud. Dog, everything's crazy, okay? It's crazy time. So that's my general Volt build. Let me know if you're using something different, different frames, etc. Everything works fine as long as you can get it to work, do enough damage, so no problem there. This is my Cedo build. Now, in theory, using 60/60 mods is not preferred over just straight up 90% mods because you do not deal status to the boss, you just do damage to the boss. So you want to up the number as much as possible, not your status chance, because you just don't apply jack shit. So, in theory, you'd want to put 90s on, but hey, that's okay. This is my general build for my shotgun. It's just what I've always been using, and I'm just using it still. Just because I was testing out the Cedo. So I have high electricity, high cold. I have a 60/60, 60/60, fire rate, crit damage, right? Multi-shot, crit rate, merciless, normal stuff, all things considered. Do remember to kill the side mobs in order to farm up your like weapons and get more damage, because you want to upgrade your primary merciless with some kills, right? You want to do that more damage, so remember to do that. But this is my general build I'm using, so yeah, there is that. Reminder as well, there's a lot of good focus trees for the boss as well. I'm using Zenerate just so I can slow the boss down with my 2. Other people are using Armor Strips one, like I think Matarai, Unaru, stuff like that as well. So use whatever works for you, whatever you have unlocked, but I am using the Zenerate focus tree, and that seems to help me, because I can slow the boss down, and then just blast him in the face and kill him. So yeah, that's the modding for my Cedo. Hopefully that helps. Now, for the Tenet Detron. Hopefully you can hear my dog upstairs, maybe not. The unique trait of this is the alt fire just uses its entire magazine. No shock there, that's great for DPS. Shocker. And I got it to shoot, I'd say a lot of bullets overall, right? Like a lot of decent bullets. So this is the general build I have. I think someone sent this to me, but this is what I'm running for now with secondary merciless on over here because it's, you know, still good to stack up some kills to get buffs. Overall, you'd want to use the 90 status mods because that'll give you more damage, less like chance, and you cannot infect the boss with status chance, so you don't care about status like chance, right? And it's a status per multiplier, projectile, fall off, fire rate, magazine, all of this good stuff. My dog's going crazy upstairs. So this is my general build: electricity, lethal torrent, galvanized diffusion, toxin, cracker, primed target cracker for crit damage. Okay, magnum force for a little bit more damage. I could probably swap this out with something, but it's okay. Primed pistol gambit for crit, and then hornet strike for more damage. So a lot of damage, don't even necessarily need to build up secondary merciless a ton, but hey, it's there. So this is what my Tenet Detron does. God, my dog's barking at like the landscapers, he's crazy. So sorry if that's a little annoying. And for this weapon, my Tenet Detron, I properly have corrosive radiation on. That should deal some good chunks to the boss, whereas this one is viral radiation. Oh, wow. So if you remember, the other boss is very susceptible to corrosive and then blast. So if you go to like this screen on the wiki, because it has, what, fossilized armor? Yeah. So that's a good damage type. As well as they're saying radiation, blah, 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 but I went with the good old corrosive and stuff. So yeah, you do what you do, but this is the general build I have for my Cedo. It does well. The damage is good, but you know, you do you. My Tenet Detron will always do a little bit more damage, but like, come on. Look at the total damage number. Of course that thing's gonna pop off. You could even give yourself probably like more crit multiplier if you want, but this is good enough for me, so it works. Like, no problem. I'm good. Don't need stuff like Creeping Bullseye on this one. It has Prime Pistol Gambit, so good enough, right? So yeah, let me know what your builds are, but those are what I'm using there. And then for my Vastilok, I am using this for Armor Strip in case no one brings Armor Strip. So like, I'm using a build that can solo the boss and one-shot every stage, no problem, if you feel like it. So this is a decent enough build to just do everything solo if you want, but there's no point in running solos because it's no faster than running a group, because I think all the numbers are pretty much the same, but I've been running everything on public. So this is my Vastilok. Damage on it is probably decent, whatever. I haven't built it for really a ton of damage. I've just built it for attack speed and reducing enemy armor. So that's why I have Gladiator Vice, Quickening, Berserker Fury, as well as Shattering Impact on it. It's very easy to quickly kill some enemies just auto-attacking, shooting off with this, because like even without a ton of damage, the damage is still really decent. So yeah, and then I just use this to strip the enemy of their loot. So yeah, well, armor I should say. So it seems to work pretty well. Shattering Impact only takes like 3-4 shots, and with all the bonus attack speed, that goes off in like seconds. So it helps a lot for the boss. And that's pretty much all you'll really need. You can do any sort of strat if you want. You could do probably a general Necromech build. My Necromech did decent damage. It's just the shotguns shoot all at once. You can only do so much damage per pellet, since that's how they nerf this boss, because like Warframe is the jokiest game of difficulty ever, so they do the stupidest type of balancing. It's a fucking goof of a game in that regard, okay? Huge joke, Warframe. But that's okay, because you can just build OP stuff like a Cedo that shoots a ton, or Tenet Detron that shoots a ton, or Vastilok to rip off armor and shoot a ton. So that is my general build loadout for one-shotting Plague Star Hemocyte. Of course, you just have to remember to shoot the enemy in the face. I'm using Volt. A lot of people are using Volt because speeding up the drone. What are other people using? A little bit of Wisp because like both attack speed buffs. Just using general support frames that help out are good, especially when you're gonna do damage. So this is my general build. Let me know what you think of it. I think it's decent. It gets the job done, and you very quickly kill each head if you can properly like pop off your entire shot of your Tenet Detron or anything like that. And having more teammates will just give each other more buffs and should just help more. So yeah, I would recommend just running publics for this, but you do you. Hopefully that guide helped. As always, if it did, subscribe, like, let me know what you think of it. There are a ton of different weapons and shotguns in the game that work great. I think like a lot of people are using Boar Prime, Incarnate. There's so many weapons in this game. There are 700 weapons, Warframes, and just level upable things. So this game has so much stuff, okay? Any sort of good, strong shotgun probably will work fine. Any sort of shotgun or weapon that shoots a ton of pellets all at once and does good damage, probably going to work really well. So, hope this helps, all things considered. Nice. Sub, like, favorite, check out all the socials, Epic Games creator code Pupsker if you ever want to support the channel. Anything helps out after all. So, I thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Cheers.